His Last Words by Kim Erickson. We are on week 6, day 5, and this is our last Bible study day with His Last Words. How crazy is that? The date is April 3rd, 2020. It's Friday, just in case we've all forgotten what day it is. And this is the day that we review, reflect, and pray. So we're going to go through and just talk about this lesson and kind of talk about the book as a whole. I'm outside because the sun is shining for the first time in forever, and I have literally hopped to every chair on this table just to figure out which one you can actually see in. And so I will be blinded, but I'm so happy for sunshine. And I have coffee, so we're good. All right, we're going to start on page 211, and it says, if God revealed something to you this week, write about it here. I had to think about that because this week, it's our 3rd week in quarantine. 3 weeks now. And we got some more weeks coming. So I was just going through this and I was like, oh, I don't even remember. What did we learn? I was just kind of in that state. But I returned to page 192 and this part I have reread a couple of times this week, and I just want to reread this part again. I see his loving presence and guiding hand in the words of Isaiah and David, even while I cry over the treatment of our Savior in John 19. Somehow knowing deep in my soul that God is controlling everything by his loving hands helps my grieving heart get some peace. He's got this. He will make things right. Someday, somehow. Meanwhile, we wait and do our best to show the truth of Jesus. So that part, I just keep going back to that. There are different days in this study that there were really good things. I mean, hello, joy, that was super fun. But that part was the part that this week really struck me, and I just kept going back to it. It says, if God has reminded you of something you've been forgetting lately or showed you something that hasn't been part of your life for a while, write about it here. I'm trying to say it without singing. Don't stop believing. So that part really struck me too, because we just have to keep believing that God's in control. And sometimes you're like, I don't feel like anything is in control anywhere right now. But look, we're outside, and no matter what the chaos is, God is still faithful. He's still bringing us spring like he does every single year. And every single year, I kid you not, I stand at my kitchen sink washing dishes, and I'm like, God, are you ever gonna bring spring? And he deals with me because every single year I do that to him, and he is always faithful. He always brings us spring. And this week has been really dark and dreary, so it's been super fun these last 2 days to be outside and just feel the sunshine. And I just can't stop thanking God for so many things. And I just keep telling my kids, count your blessings one by one. And I don't even know if they know that song. I should probably see if they do, because I just keep repeating it over and over and over. Count your blessings one by one. People who are feeling down and out, and I'm like, there's always something to be thankful for. Not to diminish this hard time that we are in, but there are still so many things to be thankful for. On page 211 still, it says, if God challenged you to make a change in your life, how did he do it, and what change will you make? I feel like our whole lives have changed. So, and it says, what change will you make? I just wrote, if we love Jesus, we will follow his command to love as he does, because I just want to follow Jesus, and I just want to love people. And right now it seems really hard to do. I just follow you, Jesus. Like, just lead me. Just lead me. I'm good. It says on 212, like, isn't that simple? Like, just follow Jesus. But at this point, I'm like, God, just take my hand, just drag me along. I don't even know. But he's faithful, isn't he? Anyway. 2:12 says, take a few moments to be quiet and still. Take time to let the lessons of this week become a wisdom in your heart. Ask the Lord how he wants you to shepherd his flock. And here's the thing, we're all shepherding. I think all of us, as I'm thinking through this, I mean, we're all moms or a wife, or we have a mom and dad. I mean, we all have someone we can help. And I just really think that we need to sit and be quiet. In all honesty, I was in the shower this morning praying because it's like the one place I go where no one finds me except my cat Hank. Hank, we have 2 cats, Hank and Waylon. And Hank keeps coming in the shower, like opening the door no matter what, and then he just stands at the shower like, "Are you done yet?" But this morning I was really praying hard, and we talked about before where the Spirit intercedes with groanings to, when we don't have the words, and I was like, God, I just don't even have words. And so he's faithful, and it was good for me to take those moments just to be quiet and still. And I was thinking through this devotion again, and I was just thinking about this whole book, and that was one of the things that it's hard to continue doing the study even though there is a week 7, because you're supposed to go through this whole book. I'm going to strongly encourage you all to go through this book. Look at the beginning of this book in February in our notes that we wrote, and then continue to go forward and see the change in that. And I'm really curious to know what your thoughts have been on this. I can get a hold of Kim Erickson too. I would love to let her know the impact that this study has had overall. And I'm really thankful that she's let us continue to have these videos. And it says on page 222, which is the very last page of this study, question 1 says, discuss the things that had an impact on your heart during the study and your 4 changes. There's a part in here where she talks about what changes have you made. By now, I hope that you know each other well enough to share openly and honestly. And I feel like, well, we've gone through a lot together. So, yeah. There are some other really good ideas. So if someone wants to do this study later, I think it's brilliant. But I really think about the things that have had an impact on your heart during this study and what changes have you made. Because I feel like I've for sure made some changes. And I really feel like, our world has changed so much since the beginning of this. And I really feel like this study was for such a time as this. It's been so good. And it feels sad to end it. I was like, I hope you give me something really good, God, to end with. But it just ends just like that. But we're not done. We're going to keep meeting here like this. I hope to go through, I just got an Encouraged Study Bible, so I'm going to go through some notes in there and come up with something to get us through. And there are a couple of online studies, but I just don't want to do anything that we have to get a book and go through. So we'll figure something out. But until then, thank you for being on this journey with us, with me. What a journey it has been. It's been 6 weeks, but these 7 weeks. Wow. But who is faithful? God is faithful. He's got this. I'm going to go right back to that. I'm going to end there because this part, somehow knowing deep in my soul that God is controlling everything by his loving hand helps my grieving heart get some peace. He's got this. He will make things right someday, somehow. Meanwhile, we wait and do our best to show others the truth of Jesus. Have a great day.